Do you believe that God designed you to struggle, to knock on doors that refuse to open, to search endlessly for something that already exists within you? No. That is the greatest deception of this world. You were never meant to look for a job. You were never meant to chase after anything. The moment you begin searching, you admit that you lack. And when you affirm lack, you create more of it. God placed within you the power to call forth whatever you need. But instead of using this power, you have been conditioned to believe that work, effort, and struggle are the only way. This is a lie. Ask yourself, when have you ever truly received something by force? When has worry ever delivered your desires? It never has. Because the key was never in the search, but in the knowing. A man who knows he is wealthy does not wake up searching for money. A man who knows he is loved does not chase affection. And a man who knows he is chosen does not beg for opportunities. God said, "Be still and know that I am God." Not work hard, not beg, not worry, but know. So if you have been looking for a job, stop. If you have been looking for security, stop. Instead, turn inward. See yourself already in possession of what you seek. Live in the end. Feel the relief, the joy, the certainty of already having it. And when you do, watch how effortlessly it comes. Doors will open where there were none. Opportunities will call to you. Because God never told you to look for anything, He told you to believe and receive. It is already done. Now walk as if it is. Everything you experience in life is a direct reflection of your internal world. The circumstances, the people, the opportunities, and even the challenges that appear before you are not random occurrences. They are projections of the beliefs you hold within. If you truly grasp this, you will understand that nothing is happening to you. It is all happening through you. The moment you realize this, you stop being a victim of life and become the master of it. From the time you were born, you were conditioned to believe that the external world holds the answers to your desires. You were taught that success comes from hard work, that love comes from another person, that happiness is found in material gain. But what if none of that were true? What if everything you seek is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed? The truth is, the world is simply a mirror reflecting your deepest assumptions, whether you are conscious of them or not. If you believe the world is a cruel and unfair place, it will present you with evidence to confirm that belief. You will encounter obstacles, unkind people, and situations that reinforce your assumption. But if you believe that life is unfolding perfectly for you, that you are always guided, always provided for, then the world will shape itself to reflect that truth. It is you. Your thoughts, emotions, and dominant beliefs are shaping your experiences right now. If you look around at your life and see lack, struggle, or limitations, understand that they are not forces outside of you controlling your fate. They are simply reflections of the assumptions you have accepted as true. You do not need to fight against them, complain about them, or fear them. You simply need to change the cause, the state of mind that is producing them. Most people try to change their external conditions without addressing their internal reality. They chase after money, love, or recognition, hoping that acquiring them will bring peace. But even when they succeed, they soon find themselves feeling empty again, needing more. Why? Because they have not addressed the source. A person who feels unworthy will continue to manifest situations that reinforce that unworthiness, no matter how much they achieve. A person who feels abundant will always attract abundance, even if they start with nothing. So the question is, what are you assuming to be true about yourself? Do you see yourself as powerful, as worthy, as someone who naturally attracts what they desire? Or do you see yourself as someone who must struggle, who must prove their worth, who must fight for what they want? The world will only ever confirm what you assume. To transform your reality, you must first transform your inner world. This means becoming deeply aware of your thoughts, your self-talk, and the emotions you habitually entertain. It is not enough to simply wish for a better life. You must step into the version of yourself who already has it. If you desire love, you must feel love now. If you desire wealth, you must embody the feeling of abundance now. The external world is always lagging behind your inner world. It will catch up once you make the shift. This is why many people feel stuck. They are waiting for the world to change so they can feel different, not realizing that the world is waiting for them to change first. When you take responsibility for your reality, you reclaim your power. You no longer react to life, you direct it. You no longer beg for opportunities, they find you. You no longer seek approval, you radiate confidence. The external world is not your master, it is your servant. It reflects you perfectly, without fail. If you want to know what you truly believe about yourself, look at your life. It is the most honest feedback you will ever receive. And if you do not like what you see, do not resist it, change it from within. You were never meant to search outside yourself for what already exists within. You are not here to chase, to struggle, or to hope that life will be kind to you. You are here to declare, to assume, to know that what you desire is already yours. And when you do, the world will have no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. You were never meant to chase, to struggle, or to beg for what is already yours. The idea that you must exhaust yourself to receive the blessings of life is a belief imposed by the world, not by God. From the moment you were created, everything you would ever need was already set in place for you. Your only task is to align with it, to receive it, and to trust that it is already done. When you chase something, you affirm that it is separate from you. You send a message to yourself and the world that you do not have it, and by doing so, you create more distance between you and your desire. But when you receive, you acknowledge that what you seek is already within reach. You shift from a state of lack to a state of fulfillment, and life responds accordingly. Look at nature. Does the sun chase the sky? Do the rivers beg the ocean to accept their flow? No. Everything moves in harmony, effortlessly aligning with its purpose. The trees do not struggle to grow. They simply absorb the light and water given to them, and growth happens naturally. The birds do not wake up in fear of lack. They trust that the earth will provide. You too are part of this divine design. You were never meant to live in desperation, to run after things as if they were escaping you. What is meant for you cannot be lost. God has placed within you the power to call forth everything you need. When you align with this power, you no longer operate from desperation. You no longer seek approval, opportunities, or love from a place of lack. Instead, you stand in the certainty that all things are already moving in your favor. And when you do this, life becomes effortless. The world has taught you to believe in struggle. It has conditioned you to think that success comes only to those who work the hardest, that love is something you must prove yourself worthy of, that opportunities must be fought for. But have you ever noticed that those who truly succeed, those who seem to attract everything with ease, are the ones who do not chase? They do not beg, they allow. They do not force, they receive. If you find yourself in a constant state of seeking, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I affirming with my actions? Am I declaring that I lack? Am I acting as if what I desire is separate from me? The moment you shift your perception, the moment you start seeing yourself as already in possession of what you desire, the chase ends. You do not need to run after anything. It will come to you naturally. God never intended for you to beg for what is rightfully yours. Imagine a child asking their parent for food and the parent responding, "Only if you prove yourself worthy." That would be absurd. And yet that is how so many approach life, believing that they must earn what is already freely given. But God does not withhold. What you desire is not a matter of worthiness. It is a matter of alignment. The key to receiving is in your state of being. You must assume the feeling of already having what you seek. If you desire love, feel love now. If you desire success, embody the energy of success now. The external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. The moment you stop chasing and start receiving, you will notice something miraculous. The things you once ran after will begin to seek you. Opportunities will arise effortlessly, people will appear at the right time, and doors you never knocked on will open before you. This is not wishful thinking, this is divine law. The more you chase, the more you affirm separation. But the more you trust, the more you allow what is already yours to come to you. Let go of the struggle. Release the need to force things into existence. Stand in the knowing that you are never meant to chase, but to receive. And when you do, life will flow to you in ways beyond your imagination. Everything you experience in life is shaped by the assumptions you hold within. Your world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. What you assume to be true becomes your reality, and what you persist in imagining will inevitably take form in your life. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, for circumstances are only reflections of your inner state. The only reality that exists is the one you create in your imagination. Most people believe that the physical world is the ultimate truth, that what they see and touch determines what is real. But the unseen is far more powerful than the seen. Everything that exists today was once only an idea, a thought, an image held in the mind. The chair you sit on, the building you stand in, the life you live, all were first imagined before they became real. This is the nature of creation. It begins in the mind and then manifests outwardly. If you truly understand this, you will stop reacting to life as if it is something separate from you. Instead, you will realize that life is responding to you, mirroring back to you the state of your consciousness. When you assume lack, you will walk into situations that confirm your assumption. You will see evidence of struggle, of limitation, of things not working out in your favor. But this is not because the world is against you. It is because you have accepted the idea of lack as true. Your mind is the projector, and life is simply the screen reflecting what you believe. Change the projection, and the picture must change. The same is true for abundance. When you assume that life is full, that you are always provided for, that opportunities flow effortlessly to you, then the world has no choice but to confirm it. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. You will meet people who open doors for you. Solutions will appear before problems even arise. This is not coincidence. This is law. Many people struggle because they live only in reaction to the physical world, forgetting that they are the cause of it. They see lack and they reinforce it by believing in it even more. They feel rejected and they assume they are unworthy, which only brings them more rejection. But those who understand the power of imagination do not allow the external world to dictate their inner state. They do not wait for evidence to believe in something. They believe in it first and then the evidence appears. The world will always conform to what you persist in assuming. If you wish to change your life, you must first change your inner conversation. What are you telling yourself daily? What images are you entertaining in your mind? If you are constantly thinking of failure, do not be surprised when you experience it. If you are always dwelling on being unloved, do not be shocked when you attract more loneliness. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts what you impress upon it and brings it to life. This is why it is so important to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Do not wait for things to change before you feel abundant, loved, or successful. Feel it now. Walk in the knowing that it is already done. Speak as if you have already received what you desire. Think from the place of fulfillment, not from the place of longing. The world will adjust itself to match the new state you occupy. Some may doubt this, believing that circumstances are fixed and that life is simply a matter of fate. But those who have tested the power of imagination know the truth. The only fate that exists is the one you create. If you accept limitations, they will rule your life. But if you persist in assuming the reality you desire, then nothing is impossible. You do not need to struggle, chase, or fight against the world. You only need to change the assumption that is creating it. Assume abundance, and you will live in abundance. Assume love, and you will be surrounded by it. Assume success, and doors will open before you. The world is not separate from you, it is you, pushed outward. Your imagination is the only reality. Shape it wisely, and life will reflect its beauty back to you. Desire is not random. It is not something you create on your own, nor is it something you must fight for. Desire is God speaking to you, calling you toward the life that is already yours. The moment a vision of prosperity, love, or success enters your heart, it exists in the unseen realm. You do not need to struggle for it, nor do you need to earn it through effort. Your only task is to awaken to it, to recognize that it is already yours, and to allow it to unfold in your life. Most people misunderstand desire. They see it as a sign of lack, as something they must chase. They believe that wanting something means they do not yet have it, and so they spend their lives running after dreams that seem just out of reach. But this is an illusion. The very fact that you desire something is proof that it is already yours. If it were not meant for you, it would not have entered your awareness at all. The feeling of desire is God's way of showing you what is possible, what is waiting for you the moment you align with it. Think of a radio. The station you wish to hear is already being broadcast, but you must tune into the right frequency to receive it. In the same way, your desire already exists in the unseen. You simply need to shift your consciousness to match it. When you desire wealth, it is because the reality of wealth is calling you. When you desire love, it is because love is already prepared for you. When you desire success, it is because success is waiting for you to claim it. You are not creating something new. You are awakening to what has always been yours. The mistake many make is in thinking they must work for what they desire. They believe they must prove their worth, struggle, and fight against the world to receive what is naturally theirs. But God does not place a desire in your heart only to make you suffer for it. The struggle is never in receiving. The struggle is only in believing that you must struggle. When you release the need to fight, when you let go of the belief that you must force things into being, you will see how effortlessly life unfolds. To awaken to your desire, you must first accept that it is already done. You must live in the feeling of its fulfillment, knowing that the unseen is just as real as the seen. This is why faith is so powerful. It is the ability to see beyond appearances, to trust in what the world cannot yet see. The moment you believe that your desire is already yours, life will rearrange itself to reflect that belief. Some may argue that desire leads to disappointment, that to want something is to set yourself up for failure. But this only happens when you treat desire as something outside of yourself, something to be obtained rather than something to be realized. The truth is, you do not chase after your desires. You assume them. You embody the state of already having what you want, and the world responds accordingly. You have been taught to believe in effort, in struggle, in competition, but look at how effortlessly the sun rises each morning, how the seasons change without force, how the rivers flow to the ocean without resistance. Nature does not struggle, and neither should you. When you align with the truth that your desire is already yours, you will experience the same effortless flow. You will no longer seek, you will simply receive. Let go of the idea that you must work for what is already given. Let go of the belief that you are separate from what you desire. Trust that the vision placed in your heart is not a test, not a tease, but a promise. Your only responsibility is to align with it, to live in the knowing that it is done. And when you do, you will watch as your world shifts effortlessly to reflect the divine reality that has always been waiting for you. There is a profound difference between searching for something and knowing it is already yours. The search implies separation, a belief that what you desire is somewhere outside of you, waiting to be found. But the truth is, nothing is missing. The reality you seek already exists, and it is only your awareness of it that needs to shift. When you live in the end rather than in the search, The world has no choice but to rearrange itself to reflect your certainty. Most people live in a constant state of seeking. They seek love, they seek wealth, they seek happiness, always believing that these things exist somewhere beyond their current experience. And because they continue to affirm that they do not have what they want, life continues to show them the absence of it. Seeking reinforces the idea that you lack and whatever you persistently assume you will experience. But when you live in the end, you stop searching and start being. You no longer look for signs of your manifestation. You embody the feeling of already having it. You carry yourself as if it were done. You think, speak, and act from the place of fulfillment, not from the place of wanting. This is the key difference between those who struggle and those who effortlessly receive. One is always reaching, while the other has already arrived. Imagine an actor preparing for a role. The moment they step on stage, they do not act as if they are becoming the character. They are the character. They fully assume the identity, speaking, moving, and thinking as that person. And because they commit to the role, the audience believes it too. When you assume the state of your fulfilled desire, life itself becomes the stage that conforms to your assumption. Many hesitate to do this because they are waiting for proof. They want to see the evidence before they believe, but that is not how creation works. The seen world is merely a reflection of the unseen. If you wait for physical proof before changing your assumption, you will always remain stuck in the loop of waiting. The moment you stop waiting and start knowing, everything shifts. Think of a person who desires to be wealthy. If they constantly tell themselves they are poor, if they check their bank account in disappointment, if they worry about every bill, they are living in the state of lack. But if they shift their assumption, if they begin to feel abundant, to walk with confidence, to make decisions from a place of prosperity rather than fear, their external world will begin to reflect this new inner state. Opportunities will arise, financial doors will open, and circumstances will shift to match their assumption. This is not magic, this is law. You do not need to figure out how it will happen, you only need to assume that it already has. When you live in the end, you trust that the unseen is just as real as the seen. You stop asking when and how, because you already know it is done. Doubt is what keeps most people trapped in the search. They waver between belief and disbelief, constantly checking for signs, constantly questioning whether their desire will ever materialize. But faith does not waver. Faith does not ask for reassurance. Faith declares something as true, and in doing so makes it true. You must embody the reality you desire before you see it. Do not wait for the world to give you permission to feel wealthy, loved, successful, or happy. Feel it now. Own it now. Walk as if it were already yours. And soon, you will find that it is. The moment you stop seeking and start knowing, the world will move to reflect your certainty. It must, because the world is simply a mirror of your inner state. Faith is the invisible bridge between what is seen and what is yet to be seen. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet visible. But to many, faith feels uncertain, like a fragile hope rather than an unshakable truth. This is where most people struggle. They believe only in what they can see with their eyes, touch with their hands, and measure with logic. But the greatest truths of life exist beyond the senses. Your desires are already fulfilled in ways beyond your understanding, and your only task is to trust, not to chase. When you chase something, you affirm that it is separate from you. You believe it is outside of your reach, and in doing so, you push it further away. But when you trust, when you move with the certainty that it is already done, you allow it to come to you effortlessly. Faith is not about forcing reality to change. It is about aligning yourself with the reality that already exists in the unseen. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that beneath the soil the process is unfolding. You water it, give it sunlight, and know that in time it will break through the surface. Faith works the same way. The moment you desire something, the seed is planted. Your belief, your trust is the water that nourishes it. If you worry, doubt, or try to force its growth, you disrupt the natural process. But when you trust, when you live as though your desire is already on its way, it must manifest. Many people think that faith means waiting passively, but this is not true. Faith is an active knowing. It is the ability to walk forward even when you do not yet see the path beneath your feet. It is the willingness to act as though what you desire is already yours, to speak, think, and move in alignment with that reality. You do not wait for proof. You become the proof through your conviction. Look at the great figures of history, those who changed the world in ways others thought impossible. They did not wait for evidence before believing. They believed first, and the evidence followed. Whether in science, art, business, or spirituality, every great breakthrough came from someone who trusted in an unseen reality before the world recognized it. The same principle applies to your life. You must trust in your desire's fulfillment before it becomes visible. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. When you doubt, you send mixed signals to the universe. One moment you believe, the next you question. This back and forth prevents the bridge from forming between the unseen and the seen. Faith must be unwavering. You must hold to your vision even when nothing in the physical world suggests it is possible. The mind will always try to interfere, asking, but how? When? Where will it come from? This is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to assume it is already done. Trust that unseen forces are working on your behalf, arranging circumstances, guiding people, and shifting reality in ways you cannot yet perceive. The universe operates beyond human understanding, and when you surrender control, you allow things to unfold in ways greater than you could ever plan. When you live with faith, you walk differently. You no longer carry desperation or anxiety. You no longer try to manipulate circumstances. You rest in the knowing that what is meant for you is already yours. You speak with confidence, move with purpose, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Faith is the bridge. It connects the world of thought to the world of form. It turns the invisible into the visible. The moment you stop chasing and start trusting, you will see that what you sought was never far. It was simply waiting for you to believe. Everything you seek is already within you. The world you experience is nothing more than a reflection of your assumptions, your beliefs, and the state of being you choose to embody. There is no need to chase, no need to struggle, only the need to awaken to the truth that what you desire is already yours. You are not here to beg for opportunities, but to align with them. Your purpose is not to search endlessly, but to live in the certainty that what is meant for you is unfolding effortlessly. Your imagination shapes your reality, your desires are divine guidance, and your faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you stop looking, stop doubting, and start knowing, the world will rearrange itself to match your inner conviction. What you assume to be true will be made real. So walk as if you have already received, trust that all things are working in your favor, and let life unfold in perfect harmony. Thank you.
My friends, I urge you to consider this carefully. Not every plea for help is a call to action. There are those whose cries echo not from true need, but from an unwillingness to claim their inner strength. To extend your hand without discernment is to entangle yourself in their cycle of lack and misalignment. Life is a grand mirror, reflecting back to us not the world as it is, but as we are within. The circumstances, relationships, and experiences that fill our days are merely projections of the state of our consciousness. To truly understand this principle is to unlock the key to transformation, for nothing in your outer world can shift until you first shift within. It is not the actions of others or the randomness of life that shape our experiences, but the assumptions we hold, the beliefs we nurture, and the emotions we entertain. When you encounter someone in need, it is natural to feel the urge to help. Compassion is a noble quality, but it must be tempered with understanding. Not all help is helpful. There are times when assisting another can inadvertently reinforce their limitations rather than liberate them. This is because their struggles are a reflection of their inner state, just as your experiences reflect yours. To intervene without discernment is to become entangled in their reflection, seeing only their lack and not their potential, and in doing so, you risk affirming the very reality they wish to escape. Consider this: if someone views themselves as powerless, they will project a reality that mirrors this belief. They will encounter situations and relationships that reinforce their sense of helplessness. If you step in to solve their problems without addressing the root cause, their own perception, you are merely treating the symptoms of a deeper issue. You may alleviate their immediate discomfort, but you leave their underlying belief intact. Worse still, you may unintentionally validate it, making it harder for them to break free. True assistance begins with awareness. It is not about fixing someone's life for them, but about helping them see the power they already possess. This requires you to rise above the immediate reflection and see beyond the surface. It requires a deeper understanding of how consciousness shapes reality. By maintaining your own alignment with abundance, strength, and clarity, you serve as a mirror of possibility rather than limitation. In your presence, they can begin to perceive a new reflection, one that calls them to rise, not to remain as they are. This is why discernment is crucial. You must ask yourself, am I helping from a place of genuine empowerment, or am I responding to their reflection of lack? To answer this question honestly, you must first examine your own state of consciousness. Are you seeing them as a soul capable of transformation, or as someone who needs rescuing? The way you perceive them will dictate the kind of help you offer and the impact it has. It is also essential to recognize that each person is on their own journey. The struggles they face are not punishments but opportunities for growth. Just as you have learned through challenges and risen through trials, so too must they. To take away their struggle prematurely is to rob them of the lessons their soul has called forth. It is like pulling a butterfly from its cocoon. Before it is ready, the wings remain undeveloped, and the creature cannot fly. There is a delicate balance to be struck here. Compassion does not mean enabling. Love does not mean interfering. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give another is the space to discover their own strength. This does not mean turning a blind eye to suffering or becoming indifferent to the needs of others. It means offering a higher form of help, one that empowers rather than weakens. It means seeing them not as broken, but as whole, even if they cannot yet see it for themselves. The reflection principle teaches us that we are always teaching others by the state of our being. If you wish to inspire someone to rise above their circumstances, you must first rise above your own. You must embody the qualities you wish to see in them: confidence, peace, abundance, so that your reflection serves as a reminder of what is possible. When you do this, you are not imposing your will upon them, but inviting them to step into a higher version of themselves. At times, this may mean withholding direct help, even when asked. This is not an act of cruelty, but of wisdom. It is an acknowledgement that their journey is sacred, and that their struggles are the very soil in which their strength will grow. Trust that the same divine intelligence that guides you also guides them. Trust that they too have access to the infinite power within, and that they will discover it in their own time and way. Life does not happen to us, it happens through us. Every interaction, every encounter, every challenge is a reflection of the state of our inner world. By understanding this, we free ourselves from the illusion of victimhood and step into the role of the creator. And as creators, we have a responsibility not to fix the reflections of others, but to perfect our own. When you align with truth, love, and abundance, you naturally inspire others to do the same. Your very presence becomes a catalyst for change, not because you force it upon them, but because you show them what is possible. So remember the power of the mirror. When you see lack in another, look first within yourself. When you feel the urge to help, ask whether your help will empower or enable. And when in doubt, hold the vision of their highest potential, trusting that they will rise to meet it. This is the true meaning of assistance, not to change their reflection for them, but to show them that they hold the power to change it themselves. The law of assumption is the foundation upon which reality is built. It declares that whatever you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, will manifest in your life. It is not the effort you expend or the actions you take that shape your world, but the assumptions you hold deeply within your mind. These assumptions, like seeds planted in fertile soil, grow into the experiences that make up your life. To understand and harness this law is to unlock the power to create your reality deliberately. So, every thought, every belief, every feeling you entertain is an assumption about the nature of life, yourself, and the world around you. If you believe that life is a struggle, that belief will be reflected in your experiences. You will encounter obstacles and hardships, not because life is inherently difficult, but because your assumption demands it. Conversely, if you assume that life is abundant and full of opportunities, you will find evidence of this truth in every corner of your existence. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the assumptions you hold within. This is why so many efforts to change our circumstances fail. We focus on the outer effects without addressing the inner cause. We may try to improve our finances by working harder or seeking new opportunities, but if we carry within us the assumption of lack, our efforts will yield little fruit. The outer world cannot change until the inner world does. Action without a change in assumption is like planting seeds in barren soil. It is the assumption, the inner conviction, that determines whether the soil is fertile and whether the seed will grow. To apply the law of assumption, you must first become aware of the assumptions you currently hold. This requires honesty and self-reflection. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about others? What do I believe about the nature of reality? These beliefs are the assumptions that shape your life. Often they operate beneath the surface of our awareness, yet their influence is profound. They dictate your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and they call forth experiences that confirm their truth. Once you have identified these assumptions, the next step is to replace those that do not serve you with ones that align with the life you desire. This is not a passive process, but an act of deliberate creation. You must consciously choose to assume the reality you wish to experience, even if the evidence around you suggests otherwise. This requires faith and imagination. Faith, because you must trust in the unseen reality of your assumption imagination, because it is through the act of imagining that you begin to feel the truth of your new assumption. Feeling is the secret to making an assumption a reality. It is not enough to simply think about the life you desire. You must feel as though you are already living it. This is because the subconscious mind, which is the creative power behind all manifestation, responds to feelings, not thoughts. When you feel the reality of your assumption, your subconscious accepts it as true and sets about bringing it into your experience. Many struggle with this concept because they are conditioned to believe in the evidence of their senses. They see lack and assume lack. They experience struggle and assume struggle. But the law of assumption teaches us to reverse this process. Do not let your senses dictate your assumptions. Let your assumptions dictate what your senses perceive. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of outer appearances, and trust that your assumption will harden into fact. This is not a process of force or effort. You do not need to struggle to make your assumption real. The law of assumption operates naturally and effortlessly, just as a seed grows into a plant without strain or toil. Your only task is to nurture your assumption through faith and feeling. Remain steadfast in your belief, and let the creative power of the subconscious do the rest. It is important to remember that the law of assumption works both positively and negatively. If you assume failure, failure will manifest. If you assume rejection, rejection will follow. This is why self-awareness is so vital. You must guard your assumptions and choose them wisely, for they are the architects of your reality. Do not dwell on fear, doubt, or limitation, for these too are assumptions that will shape your world. When you encounter challenges or delays, do not waver in your assumption. The outer world may test your faith, but this is only the reflection of your past assumptions lingering in your reality. Hold fast to your new assumption and trust that it will prevail. The law of assumption is absolute. It cannot fail. It will manifest what you assume to be true, without exception. As you practice this law, you will find that life becomes a dance of creation. No longer will you feel like a victim of circumstance, tossed about by forces beyond your control. You will understand that you are the creator of your reality, and you will take full responsibility for your assumptions. This is the ultimate freedom, for it places the power to shape your life firmly in your hands. Let this truth sink deeply into your being. You are not at the mercy of life. Life is at the mercy of you. Assume the best, and the best will be yours. Assume abundance, and abundance will flow to you. Assume love, and love will surround you. Whatever you desire, assume it boldly and persistently, and it will be yours. The law of assumption is simple but profound, and its power is limitless. Use it wisely, and you will transform your world. Energy is the most valuable currency you possess. Unlike money, which can be earned, saved, or spent, your energy is finite in its daily supply and irreplaceable once depleted. It is the essence of your being, the force that drives your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Every interaction, every choice, every moment of focus is an expenditure of this precious resource. Yet many give it away carelessly, pouring it into people, situations, or habits that drain rather than replenish it. To truly live a life of purpose and abundance, you must treat your energy with the same care and discernment as the most sacred currency. One of the most profound ways to conserve and amplify your energy is by aligning your thoughts and emotions with your desired reality. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, and resentment consume vast amounts of energy, leaving you drained and powerless. Positive emotions such as love, gratitude, and joy, on the other hand, generate energy and elevate your state of being. By focusing your attention on what uplifts you and releasing what weighs you down, you create an inner environment of abundance that naturally attracts more of the same. It is also important to recognize the role of intention in energy transactions. When you give or act with a clear and positive intention, your energy flows purposefully, creating a ripple effect that benefits both you and others. However, when your actions are driven by guilt, obligation, or a desire for approval, your energy becomes fragmented and less effective. Aligning your intentions with your higher self ensures that your energy is used in ways that support your growth and well-being. The concept of energy as currency extends beyond the individual to the collective. Just as your personal energy shapes your experiences, the collective energy of a group shapes its dynamics and outcomes. When you contribute your energy to a cause, a community, or a vision, you become part of a larger flow that has the potential to create profound change. However, just as in personal transactions, it is crucial to ensure that your contribution is aligned with your values and that it supports a greater purpose, rather than perpetuating negativity or division. Your energy is your most precious resource because it is the foundation of your existence. Without it, nothing can be achieved or experienced. To value your energy is to value yourself. It is to recognize that you are the source of your own power, and that how you direct your energy determines the quality of your life. By treating your energy as sacred currency, you take responsibility for your well-being and create a life that reflects your highest potential. Be mindful of where you invest your energy and do so with intention and wisdom. Protect it from what drains you, nurture it through what inspires you, and use it to create a reality that resonates with your deepest truth. When you honor your energy, you honor the divine essence within you, and you unlock the limitless possibilities of a life lived in alignment with your highest self. Discernment is one of the most vital skills a person can develop. It is the ability to see beyond surface appearances, to recognize truth amid falsehood, and to make choices aligned with your values and purpose. In a world filled with distractions, misinformation, and competing voices, discernment is your guide, enabling you to navigate life with clarity and confidence. Without it, you risk being swayed by others' agendas, wasting your energy on pursuits that do not serve you, and making decisions that lead you away from your true path. At its core, discernment begins with awareness. It requires you to be fully present, not just physically but mentally and emotionally, so you can observe and assess situations objectively. When you rush through life without pausing to reflect, you often act on impulse or habit rather than deliberate choice. Discernment demands that you slow down and ask the critical questions: what is truly being presented to me? What is the intention behind this? How does this align with my values, goals, and intuition? These questions create a filter through which you can sift what is useful, meaningful, and genuine from what is not. It is not about judging others or situations harshly, but about making empowered decisions that respect your time, energy, and purpose. It allows you to distinguish between opportunities that will enrich your life and distractions that will derail you. Many opportunities may seem appealing on the surface, but carry hidden costs that only discernment can reveal. Whether it's a new relationship, a career move, or even how you spend your free time, discernment helps you evaluate the true value of what is being offered and whether it aligns with your long-term vision. One of the greatest challenges to discernment is the influence of emotions and biases. Fear, excitement, or a desire for approval can cloud your judgment, making it difficult to see a situation for what it truly is. Discernment requires emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and manage your emotions so they do not overpower your reasoning. When you are emotionally reactive, you are more likely to make decisions based on immediate gratification or avoidance of discomfort rather than on thoughtful consideration. Cultivating discernment means learning to pause, step back, and observe your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Another aspect of discernment is the ability to recognize the motivations of others. Not everyone who offers advice or guidance has your best interests at heart. Some may act out of self-interest, manipulation, or ignorance. Discernment allows you to see through the words and actions of others to understand their true intentions. This does not mean approaching life with cynicism or mistrust, but with a healthy sense of awareness. By understanding the motives behind what others say or do, you can make choices that protect your boundaries and align with your values. Discernment also plays a crucial role in how you consume information. In an age where information is abundant but often unreliable, the ability to evaluate sources critically is more important than ever. Discernment helps you separate fact from opinion, truth from propaganda, and wisdom from noise. It encourages you to seek knowledge from reputable and diverse sources, question what you hear, and think independently. This not only protects you from being misled, but also empowers you to form your own informed perspectives. It requires effort and practice. It is not an innate ability, but a skill that develops over time through experience and intentionality. Mistakes are an inevitable part of the learning process, but each misstep offers an opportunity to refine your judgment and grow wiser. The key is to approach life with curiosity and openness, while remaining grounded in your values and intuition. Trust that discernment, like any skill, will strengthen with consistent use. One of the most rewarding aspects of discernment is the sense of empowerment it brings. When you make decisions from a place of clarity and alignment, you feel confident and at peace with your choices. You are no longer swayed by external pressures or paralyzed by indecision. Instead, you move through life with a sense of purpose, knowing that your actions are guided by wisdom and integrity. Discernment also fosters deeper connections with others. When you approach relationships with clarity and awareness, you can see and appreciate people for who they truly are. You recognize the relationships that nurture and inspire you, and you have the strength to release those that drain or hinder you. Discernment allows you to build authentic connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Discernment is a cornerstone of personal growth and self-mastery. It is the compass that keeps you aligned with your true self amid the noise and chaos of the world. By cultivating discernment, you take ownership of your life, make choices that honor your values, and create a reality that reflects your highest potential. It is not always easy, but it is always worth the effort. The more you practice discernment, the more you realize its transformative power, and the more your life becomes a reflection of your deepest wisdom and truth. Inner responsibility is the recognition that your life, in all its aspects, is a direct reflection of your internal state. It is the understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, Emotions and actions are the architects of your reality. Instead of placing blame on external circumstances or other people for what happens to you, inner responsibility invites you to look within, take ownership of your experiences, and embrace the power you hold to transform your life from the inside out. Taking inner responsibility means accepting that you are the creator of your experiences. This does not imply that you have control over everything that happens, but it does mean that your interpretation of events, your emotional responses, and your subsequent actions are entirely within your power. Life may present challenges, setbacks, and even pain, but how you choose to perceive and navigate these moments determines their impact on your journey. Inner responsibility shifts your focus from being a victim of circumstances to being an empowered participant in your own story. This form of responsibility begins with awareness. You must first become conscious of the patterns in your life, patterns of thought, emotion, and behavior that perpetuate your current circumstances. Many people live on autopilot, reacting to life based on ingrained habits and beliefs without questioning their validity. Inner responsibility requires you to pause and examine these patterns with honesty and self-compassion. Are your thoughts rooted in fear or faith? Do your actions reflect your highest values or societal conditioning? By becoming aware of these dynamics, you reclaim the ability to choose differently. An essential aspect of inner responsibility is the acknowledgement of your emotions. It is easy to blame others or external events for how you feel, but the truth is that your emotions are generated within you. While external triggers may provoke a response, the interpretation and meaning you assign to those triggers are what determine your emotional state. Taking inner responsibility involves owning your feelings without projecting them onto others. It means recognizing that no one else can make you feel a certain way unless you allow it. This ownership creates the freedom to process emotions constructively, learn from them, and ultimately transform them into growth and resilience. The inner responsibility also extends to your actions. Every choice you make is a reflection of your inner state and priorities. When you take responsibility for your actions, you stop blaming external factors for your behavior. For instance, if you consistently procrastinate or avoid challenges, it is not because of the circumstances around you, but because of an internal resistance or fear. Acknowledging this empowers you to address the root cause rather than merely addressing the symptom. Through this process, you build integrity and align your actions with your goals and values. Taking inner responsibility is not about self-blame or guilt. It is not about berating yourself for past mistakes or perceived shortcomings. Instead, it is a practice of self-empowerment and self-awareness. Blame focuses on the problem, responsibility focuses on the solution. By shifting from blame to responsibility, you free yourself from the paralysis of guilt and step into the creative power of choice. Each moment becomes an opportunity to redirect your energy, make new decisions, and create a different outcome. The ultimate gift of inner responsibility is freedom. When you take ownership of your inner world, you are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You become the master of your own destiny, capable of creating a life that reflects your deepest desires and highest values. This freedom is not about controlling everything around you, but about mastering your internal state so that you can respond to life with wisdom, grace, and confidence. In embracing inner responsibility, you step into your power as a creator. You recognize that your thoughts shape your reality, your emotions color your experiences, and your actions determine your path. By taking ownership of these elements, you reclaim your sovereignty and unlock the limitless potential within you. Life may still bring challenges, but with inner responsibility, you meet them with strength and purpose, knowing that the power to shape your reality lies within you. There exists an invisible cord that connects all things, a web of energy, intention, and consciousness that binds the seen and the unseen. This cord is not tangible, yet its influence is undeniable. It weaves through our lives, linking our thoughts, emotions, and actions to the experiences we attract. To understand this invisible cord is to unlock a profound truth: everything is connected, and nothing happens in isolation. At its essence, this cord is the energy of consciousness. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every intention you set emits a vibration that extends outward into this unseen network. Like a ripple in water, your inner state affects the world around you, influencing circumstances, relationships, and opportunities. The invisible cord ensures that what you project into this web returns to you, often magnified. This is not a matter of chance, but a reflection of the energy you contribute to the interconnected whole. One of the most profound aspects of the invisible cord is its responsiveness to intention. Intention acts as a beacon, sending a clear signal into this vast network. When your intentions are rooted in clarity and belief, they resonate powerfully, attracting corresponding experiences into your life. This is why alignment is crucial. If your intentions are scattered or contradicted by doubt and fear, the signal you send becomes weak, and the results you receive may seem chaotic or mismatched. The invisible cord responds not just to what you desire, but to the energy with which you hold that desire. The cord also connects you to others, often in ways that are subtle but deeply influential. Every interaction you have with another person leaves an imprint in this energetic web. Whether positive or negative, the energy exchange between you and others forms invisible threads that influence your relationship dynamics. This is why you can sometimes feel a person's presence or emotional state even when they are not physically near. The connection through this invisible cord transcends physical boundaries, illustrating the profound interconnectedness of all beings. Your relationships, then, are reflections of the energy you carry within. If you approach others with love, understanding, and authenticity, you strengthen the positive threads of this invisible cord, fostering harmony and mutual growth. Conversely, when relationships are marked by conflict, fear, or manipulation, the cord becomes tangled, creating tension and discord. Recognizing your role in these connections empowers you to shift the energy you contribute, thereby transforming the quality of your interactions. The invisible cord also explains the phenomenon of synchronicity, those moments when seemingly unrelated events align in ways that feel purposeful or meaningful. Synchronicity is not a coincidence but a testament to the interconnectedness of all things. When your inner state aligns with the greater flow of this invisible web, you begin to attract experiences that resonate with your energy and intentions. These moments are reminders that the universe is constantly responding to the vibrations you emit, guiding you toward paths of growth and fulfillment. This connection extends beyond people and events to the natural world and the cosmos itself. The invisible cord binds you to the rhythms of nature, the cycles of the seasons, and the movement of the stars. When you feel drawn to the serenity of a forest or the vastness of the ocean, it is because you are attuned to this universal connection. Nature reflects the balance and harmony inherent in the invisible cord, reminding you of the importance of aligning your inner world with the greater whole. Understanding the invisible cord also reveals the importance of mindfulness. Since every thought, emotion, and action contributes to this web, it is essential to cultivate awareness of what you are sending into it. If negative patterns such as anger, resentment, or fear create disharmony in the cord, attracting experiences that mirror those energies. Conversely, practicing gratitude, compassion, and faith strengthens the positive threads, drawing abundance, joy, and peace into your life. The invisible cord teaches you that separation is an illusion. While it may appear that you are an isolated individual, distinct from others and the world around you, this cord reminds you that you are part of a greater whole. Your actions affect not only your immediate surroundings, but also the broader web of existence. This awareness fosters a sense of responsibility and interconnectedness, urging you to live in harmony with yourself, others, and the universe. Embracing this truth requires trust in the unseen. The invisible cord cannot be measured or observed directly, yet its effects are unmistakable. Trusting in its presence means believing in the power of your thoughts, intentions, and energy to shape your reality. It means recognizing that the challenges and opportunities you encounter are not random but arise from the vibrations you send into this interconnected web. To live in alignment with the invisible cord is to honor the flow of life itself. It is to recognize that you are both a creator and a participant in this vast network, capable of influencing and being influenced by its energy. When you align your inner world with love, clarity, and purpose, the cord responds by bringing harmony and abundance into your life. This is not magic, but the natural result of living in harmony with the universal laws that govern existence. The invisible cord is a reminder of your infinite potential. It connects you to every possibility, every person, and every experience you could ever imagine. By taking responsibility for the energy you contribute, you harness the power of this connection to create a life that reflects your highest aspirations. Trust in the cord, nurture it with intention and love, and watch as it weaves a reality that mirrors the beauty and power within you. Awareness is the foundation of transformation and the gateway to a deeper understanding of life and self. It is more than just a momentary realization. It is the continuous state of being fully present, observing without judgment, and understanding the underlying patterns and truths that govern your experiences. Awareness is not something external that you acquire, but an innate quality that you awaken. Its role in your life is profound, as it holds the key to shifting your perceptions, mastering your emotions, and aligning with your true purpose. To be aware is to notice not only what happens around you, but also what transpires within you. Most people move through life on autopilot, guided by habitual thoughts and unconscious reactions. They become entangled in routines, unaware of the beliefs and assumptions that shape their decisions. Awareness breaks this cycle. It shines a light on the unseen forces that influence your thoughts, emotions, and actions, allowing you to discern whether they serve your highest good. By bringing these patterns into consciousness, awareness empowers you to choose differently, creating new pathways and possibilities. At its core, awareness is a practice of presence. It invites you to anchor yourself in the current moment, the only place where life truly unfolds. The mind often drifts to the past, replaying memories or projects into the future, creating scenarios that may never come to pass. This tendency to live outside the present moment breeds anxiety, regret, and dissatisfaction. Awareness draws you back to now, where clarity resides. In the present, you can observe without the distortions of fear or attachment, responding to life with wisdom rather than reacting impulsively. Awareness is also the bridge between your inner and outer worlds. Your external reality is a reflection of your inner state, and through awareness you can perceive this connection with clarity. For example, if you notice recurring challenges in your relationships, awareness helps you trace these patterns back to their roots within you. Are they born of fear, insecurity, or unhealed wounds? Awareness does not judge these findings but observes them with compassion, offering the opportunity for growth and healing. By addressing the source within, you transform the reflection without. In the realm of emotions, awareness plays a critical role in mastery and liberation. Many people are ruled by their emotions, swept away by waves of anger, sadness, or fear without understanding their origin. Awareness allows you to step back and observe these emotions as they arise, recognizing them as temporary states rather than permanent truths. This detachment does not mean suppression but acknowledgement. By naming and observing an emotion without identifying with it, you create space for it to pass, freeing yourself from its grip. Over time, this practice cultivates emotional resilience and balance. Awareness also unveils the power of thought. Thoughts are not random but arise from deeply held beliefs and perceptions. They carry energy and influence, shaping how you view yourself and the world. Without awareness, these thoughts run unchecked, creating self-fulfilling prophecies and reinforcing limiting beliefs. With awareness, you can examine your thoughts and discern their truth. Are they aligned with your goals and values, or are they remnants of fear or doubt? By consciously choosing empowering thoughts, you reshape your reality, directing your life toward fulfillment and success. In the context of relationships, awareness deepens connection and understanding. It helps you see beyond surface interactions to the underlying needs, desires, and fears that drive behavior, both yours and others. Instead of reacting defensively or making assumptions, awareness fosters empathy and communication. You begin to recognize the shared humanity in others, reducing conflict and building bridges of trust and compassion. Awareness also helps you set healthy boundaries, ensuring that your relationships honor your values and well-being. Awareness extends beyond the personal realm to encompass the larger tapestry of life. It reveals the interconnectedness of all things, reminding you that your actions, thoughts, and energy ripple out into the world. This understanding inspires a sense of responsibility and mindfulness in how you engage with others and the environment. You realize that your choices matter, not only to your life but to the collective experience of humanity. Awareness thus becomes a catalyst for living with purpose and integrity. Practicing awareness requires commitment and patience. It is not a destination but a journey, one that unfolds moment by moment. Meditation, mindfulness practices, and self-reflection are powerful tools for cultivating awareness. These practices train you to observe without judgment, to notice the subtle shifts in your thoughts and emotions, and to remain present even in the face of discomfort. Over time, awareness becomes second nature, a lens through which you view and engage with life. The transformative power of awareness lies in its ability to dissolve illusions. Many of the struggles and limitations you face are born of misperceptions and false identifications. You believe you are separate, powerless, or defined by your circumstances, but awareness shows you otherwise. It reveals your true nature as a creator, capable of shaping your life through conscious choice and intention. It reminds you that you are not your thoughts, emotions, or experiences, but the observer of them, infinite and unchanging. Awareness is the key to freedom. It frees you from the chains of unconscious patterns, the weight of past regrets, and the anxiety of future uncertainties. It empowers you to live authentically, guided by clarity and purpose. As you deepen your awareness, you align with the flow of life, discovering that everything you seek, peace, joy, and fulfillment, already exists within you. Through awareness, you become not just a participant in life, but a master of it, co-creating your reality with wisdom and grace. The first step in preserving your alignment is awareness. Without awareness, it is easy to become distracted by the noise of the world, expectations, opinions, and demands that pull you in multiple directions. When you lose sight of your center, you become reactive, allowing external circumstances to dictate your mood, decisions, and energy. Awareness grounds you, allowing you to observe these distractions without becoming consumed by them. It is a reminder to return to your inner compass, the guiding force that aligns you with your truest self. To maintain alignment, it is essential to guard your thoughts and emotions. Your thoughts are the seeds of your reality. They shape your beliefs and actions. Negative or limiting thoughts can create resistance, pulling you out of alignment. Similarly, emotions such as fear, anger, or doubt can cloud your perspective, causing you to act from a place of disconnection. Preserving alignment requires that you become a diligent observer of your mental and emotional landscape. When you notice thoughts or feelings that do not serve your highest good, you have the power to shift them. This does not mean ignoring or suppressing them, but choosing to focus on those that uplift and inspire you. Boundaries are another crucial aspect of preserving alignment. Your energy is precious, and not everyone or everything deserves access to it. Without boundaries, you risk becoming entangled in situations or relationships that drain you, leaving little room for self-nurturing and growth. Setting boundaries is not about building walls. It is about creating space for what aligns with your values and purpose. It is an act of self-respect, ensuring that your time, energy, and attention are directed toward what truly matters. Another key to preserving alignment is honoring your body, mind, and spirit. Your physical health impacts your mental clarity and emotional stability. Eating nourishing foods, engaging in regular movement, and getting sufficient rest create a strong foundation for alignment. Similarly, practices that nurture your mind and spirit, such as meditation, journaling, or time in nature, strengthen your connection to your inner self. When you neglect these aspects of your well-being, you may find it harder to stay aligned, as imbalance in one area often affects the others. Alignment also requires trust in yourself, in the universe, and in the unfolding of your journey. There will be times when circumstances seem to test your patience and faith. You may question whether you are on the right path or feel tempted to force outcomes. In these moments, preserving alignment means surrendering to the process and remembering that everything is unfolding as it should. Trust allows you to release the need for control and remain anchored in the present, knowing that your intentions and energy are guiding you toward your highest good. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to maintain alignment. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, reminding you of the blessings and opportunities in your life. It raises your vibration, aligning you with the energy of love, joy, and prosperity. When you express gratitude, you strengthen your connection to the universal flow, attracting more of what resonates with your highest self. Gratitude is not just an occasional practice, but a daily habit that keeps you centered and aligned. In conclusion, alignment is the sacred thread that weaves together your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the essence of who you truly are. Preserving it requires consistent self-awareness, intentional boundaries, and a deep commitment to honoring your authenticity. It is about living in harmony with your inner truth, trusting the unfolding of your journey, and remaining steadfast in your purpose, even amidst challenges. Alignment is not just a state of being, it is the key to creating a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. Thank you for taking this journey inward, for reflecting on the power of alignment, and for committing to nurturing this sacred connection. May you walk your path with clarity, grace, and unwavering faith in the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin with a truth so profound, yet so often overlooked. God can do anything. But where do we look for God? Is he far away, sitting on a throne beyond the clouds? No. The true dwelling of God is within you, closer than your breath, nearer than your thoughts. The power that resides within each of us is profound, limitless, and divine. It is not something external, distant, or separated. It is the very essence of who we are. This power is God, living and breathing through us, expressing himself in our thoughts, desires, and imaginations. To recognize this truth is to awaken to the infinite potential that lies dormant within. It is to realize that the Creator of all things dwells in you, granting you the ability to shape your life and experience through your inner world. Many search for God in external rituals, distant heavens, or the opinions of others. Yet the truth is simple: God is within you, closer than your heartbeat, nearer than your breath. This is the sacred mystery of life, that the same power that created the universe also moves through your mind and spirit. It is this power that forms the bridge between the seen and unseen, the physical and spiritual. To understand this is to step into the awareness of your divine nature, to know that you are not limited by your circumstances, but are the master of them. Your imagination is the workshop of this divine power. What you dare to imagine, you can bring into being, for the act of imagining is the act of creation. When you close your eyes and envision the life you desire, you are not engaging in idle fantasy, but planting the seeds of reality. These seeds, when nurtured with faith and conviction, grow and manifest in your external world. This is the law of life: as within, so without. The greatest tragedy is that so many are unaware of the power they carry. They see themselves as victims of fate, subject to forces beyond their control, when, in truth, they hold the keys to their destiny. Life does not happen to you, it responds to you. Your inner world shapes your outer reality. When you recognize this, you no longer fear the circumstances of life, for you understand that you are their creator. This power is not limited by time, space, or any earthly constraint. It does not waver or falter. It is as constant and unchanging as God himself. When you align yourself with this truth, you begin to see miracles unfold in your life. You begin to understand that nothing is too great or too small for this power. Whether it is the healing of a body, the mending of a relationship, or the fulfillment of a dream, the same principle applies. It begins within. Your desires are not random, they are divine whispers, clues to what is possible for you. They are not meant to frustrate you or lead you astray, but to guide you toward your purpose. When a desire takes root in your heart, it is as though God is speaking directly to you, saying, "This is yours if you will only believe." To doubt your desires is to doubt the one who placed them there. Trust them, for they are the blueprint of what is already prepared for you. The key to unlocking this power lies in your faith. Faith is not mere hope or wishful thinking, it is the unwavering conviction that what you desire is already yours. It is the assurance of things unseen, the evidence of things hoped for. When you live from a place of faith, you align yourself with the divine power within you, and nothing becomes impossible. The power within you is God. To know this is to know freedom, to live boldly, and to create fearlessly. When you embrace this truth, you will see that the world around you is not something to be feared or fought against, but a reflection of the infinite power that lies within. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to infinite possibilities. It is the pathway by which the unseen becomes seen, the intangible becomes tangible, and the impossible becomes reality. Faith is not mere hope, nor is it wishful thinking. It is the deep, unshakable conviction that what you desire already exists, even when there is no physical evidence to support it. Faith operates on a level beyond logic, beyond reason, and beyond the limitations of the senses. It is the certainty that what you hold in your heart and mind is as real as the ground beneath your feet. This conviction is not something external that you must seek out or earn. It is a divine gift that resides within you, waiting to be activated. Faith is your birthright, a direct connection to the infinite power of God. It is through faith that you step into alignment with this divine power and allow it to flow freely through you. When you have faith, you transcend the circumstances of the moment and connect to the eternal truth that everything you could ever need or desire is already yours. Faith demands that you trust in what you cannot see. The physical world often presents challenges and limitations, but these are not ultimate truths. They are reflections of past thoughts and beliefs. Faith, however, looks beyond appearances and sees the underlying reality of divine abundance and endless possibilities. It refuses to be swayed by doubt or fear, choosing instead to rest in the assurance that God is always at work, even when no evidence is visible. To walk in faith is to embrace a higher perspective. It is to see your desires not as distant dreams, but as already fulfilled realities waiting to be expressed. Faith transforms your relationship with time, allowing you to live in the joyful anticipation of what is to come while knowing that it is already done. This state of assurance creates a powerful magnetic force that draws your desires into your experience. It is not passive, it is an active force that requires your participation. It asks you to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live as though what you seek is already yours. This is not self-deception, it is the divine act of creation. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you desire, you set the creative power of God into motion. This alignment is faith in action, a declaration to the universe that you trust in the unseen as much as you trust in what is before you. Yet faith does not come without challenges. Doubt and fear often creep in, whispering that your desires are too big, your circumstances too difficult, or your dreams too unrealistic. But these are lies born of the limitations of the physical world. Faith asks you to rise above these whispers, to silence them with the certainty that nothing is impossible with God. It is in these moments of doubt that faith becomes most powerful, for it is then that you must choose to believe in spite of appearances. It also requires patience. The journey from the unseen to the seeing often unfolds in ways and times that you cannot predict. This can be difficult, especially when circumstances appear to be unchanged. But faith knows that delay is not denial. It trusts in divine timing, understanding that the process is always working for your highest good. Each step, no matter how small, is part of the unfolding of your desire. True faith transforms not only your circumstances but also your inner world. It replaces fear with peace, doubt with confidence, and lack with abundance. When you walk in faith, you are no longer a victim of life's circumstances but a creator of your own reality. You understand that the power of God is at work in and through you, bringing your desires into manifestation. Faith is the bridge between the human and the divine. It is the pathway that connects your dreams to reality, your desires to fulfillment, and your heart to the infinite. When you choose to walk in faith, you are choosing to trust in the power that created the universe, knowing that this same power is within you, working tirelessly on your behalf. Faith is the ultimate surrender, the ultimate trust, and the ultimate declaration of your divine inheritance. The world we perceive with our senses is only a fraction of reality. Beneath the surface of what is visible lies an unseen realm, a world of spirit and thought that governs the physical. This unseen realm is not separate or distant from us. It is the foundation of everything we experience. To understand this is to grasp a profound truth. The seen is a reflection of the unseen, and the invisible forces at work within us shape the circumstances of our lives. Many people live their lives bound by what they can observe and measure, believing only in what their senses confirm. Yet the senses are limited, mere tools for interacting with the physical world. They cannot grasp the fullness of the unseen forces that drive creation. Consider the wind. You cannot see it, yet you feel its power. Its effects are visible as it moves leaves, bends trees, and stirs waves. In the same way, the unseen realm of thought, belief, and spirit moves through our lives, shaping the events and outcomes we experience. The physical world, then, is like a mirror. It reflects the inner workings of the unseen. Our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions create patterns in this invisible realm, and these patterns are projected onto the screen of our external reality. This is not mere metaphor, it is the law of life. What you hold within, whether love or fear, faith or doubt, abundance or lack, manifests in the world around you. The physical is not a cause but an effect, a shadow cast by the light of the unseen. To change the seen, you must first address the unseen. This truth is both liberating and challenging. It is liberating because it means you are not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. It is challenging because it asks you to take full responsibility for your life, to look within rather than blaming external conditions. This is the work of true transformation, shifting the inner reality to alter the outer experience. The unseen realm is the realm of infinite possibilities. In it, there are no limits, no restrictions, no barriers to what you can create. When you close your eyes and imagine, you step into this realm, shaping and molding the formless into form. Every great invention, every profound work of art, every leap of human progress began as an idea in the unseen. It was through faith, determination, and persistence that these ideas were brought into the physical world. But just as the unseen holds the potential for creation, it also holds the potential for destruction if not carefully guarded. Negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and unresolved fears take root in the unseen and manifest as challenges and obstacles in the seen. This is why it is essential to cultivate a disciplined mind, one that focuses on what is good, true, and desirable. You must be vigilant over your inner world, for it is the source from which all things flow. Understanding the interplay between the seen and unseen allows you to approach life with greater wisdom and clarity. When faced with difficulties, you no longer react with fear or despair, for you understand that these are temporary reflections of past inner states. Instead, you turn inward, aligning your thoughts and feelings with the reality you wish to create. You act not as a reactor to life, but as a creator of it, moving confidently in the knowledge that the unseen always precedes the seen. Faith is the bridge between these two worlds. It allows you to trust in the unseen, even when the visible seems contrary. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is through faith that you hold fast to your vision, knowing that the unseen is as real, if not more real, than the seen. With faith you walk confidently, assured that what you have conceived in the invisible will surely appear in the visible. The greatest power lies in your ability to navigate both realms with mastery. To see beyond appearances and recognize the unseen forces at work is to live with a higher awareness. It allows you to rise above circumstances, to create intentionally, and to align with the infinite potential that is your birthright. The seen and unseen are not separate but two sides of the same coin. One reflects the other, and together they form the wholeness of life. When you understand this, you step into your role as a conscious creator, wielding the unseen forces of thought, spirit, and imagination to shape the world around you. Desires are not random or fleeting impulses, they are divine whispers, calling you toward your highest potential. They are the language through which God speaks to you, guiding you to fulfill your unique purpose in this life. Every genuine desire that arises within your heart is planted there by the divine, urging you to become more, to experience more, and to create a life that reflects the infinite nature of your being. When you embrace your desires as an expression of divine will, you step into alignment with the creative power of the universe. Many misunderstand their desires, viewing them as selfish or trivial. They suppress them, fearing judgment or doubting their worthiness to achieve them. Yet this perspective denies the truth of who you are, a vessel for divine expression. The desires within you are not arbitrary, they are sacred. They are God's way of moving through you, inviting you to participate in the act of creation. When you reject your desires, you reject this divine invitation, closing yourself off from the flow of abundance and fulfillment. To truly understand the nature of desire, you must shift your perspective. Instead of seeing your desires as something to be pursued or earned, recognize them as already existing realities in the unseen realm. The moment a desire is born in your heart, it is simultaneously created in spirit. Your role is not to struggle or strive to make it happen, but to align yourself with the feeling of its fulfillment. This alignment is an act of faith, a declaration that you trust in the divine timing and wisdom that governs all things. Your desires are uniquely yours for a reason. They are tailored to your journey, reflecting the lessons you are meant to learn, the experiences you are meant to have, and the contributions you are meant to make. What calls to your heart may not resonate with someone else, and that is by design. Comparing your desires to others diminishes their divine origin and robs you of the joy of pursuing your unique path. Trust that what you desire is not only valid but necessary for your growth and for the unfolding of your purpose. Desires are also tools for transformation. They challenge you to expand your vision, to move beyond your current limitations, and to grow into a greater version of yourself. The fulfillment of a desire is never just about the end result, it is about who you become in the process. Each step toward your desire requires faith, persistence, and a deep connection to the divine within you. It is through this journey that you discover your strength, your creativity, and your capacity to co-create with God. As you align with your desires, you may encounter fear or doubt. These are natural responses from the part of you that resists change. Yet these feelings are not barriers but opportunities to deepen your faith. When fear arises, remind yourself that your desire is an expression of divine will, and divine will cannot fail. Stand firm in your conviction and let the power of your belief dissolve any doubts. Your desires are not just about you, they are part of a greater plan. When you fulfill your desires, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that uplifts the world. This is the divine design, a symphony in which each of us plays a unique and essential part. By embracing your desires as divine will, you honor your role in this greater purpose, stepping boldly into the life you were meant to live. Assuming the feeling of your desire fulfilled is the key to unlocking the creative power of the universe within you. It is a deliberate act of faith, a conscious decision to embody the emotional state that would be yours if your desire were already a reality. This is not a mere mental exercise or an act of wishful thinking, it is the spiritual principle through which creation occurs. By assuming the feeling, you align yourself with the frequency of your desired outcome, drawing it into your experience with a power as certain as the rising sun. Everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. The circumstances you encounter, the opportunities that arise, and the challenges you face all mirror the thoughts and feelings you consistently entertain. The outer world is not separate from the inner, but is shaped by it. This is the law of life: as within, so without. Therefore, to change your external reality, you must first transform your internal state. Assuming the feeling is the way to initiate this transformation, for it shifts your focus from lack to fulfillment, from doubt to certainty, from fear to faith. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you begin to live in the end. You no longer see your desire as something distant or unattainable. Instead, you experience it as a present reality within you. This shift is not dependent on external evidence or circumstances. It is an act of imagination, of stepping into the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. In doing so, you align with the universal law that attracts like magnetizing the conditions, people, and opportunities necessary for your desire to manifest. The feeling you assume is the seed from which your new reality grows. Just as a seed must be planted in fertile soil and nurtured with care, your desired feeling must be held consistently within your heart and mind. It is not enough to imagine your wish fulfilled once or twice, it must become your dominant state of being. This does not mean forcing or feigning emotions, but rather gently cultivating the inner conviction that your desire is already yours. Through repetition and focus, this feeling becomes second nature, and your subconscious mind accepts it as truth. One of the most powerful ways to assume the feeling is through visualization. Close your eyes and picture yourself living the life you desire. See it in vivid detail, engage all your senses, and immerse yourself fully in the experience. But beyond seeing, focus on feeling. How would you feel if your wish were already fulfilled? Would you feel joy, gratitude, peace, or excitement? Let those emotions rise within you and linger there. The more real this feeling becomes to you, the more powerfully it works to bring your desire into form. Another essential aspect of assuming the feeling is letting go of resistance. Doubt, worry, and fear are the enemies of creation, for they pull your focus away from fulfillment and back to lack. When these emotions arise, remind yourself of the truth: your imagination is the creator of your reality. What you hold within will inevitably express itself without. Trust the process, even when the physical world appears unchanged. Remember, the unseen always precedes the seen, and your persistent assumption is the bridge between the two. To assume the feeling is to step into partnership with the divine. You are not forcing your desire into being, you are allowing it to flow through you. This is a sacred act of surrender, a recognition that the power to create lies not in your effort, but in your alignment. By embodying the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you open yourself to divine guidance, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly according to the higher wisdom that governs all things. The beauty of this practice is that it transforms you from the inside out. As you consistently dwell in the feeling of your desired state, you become a match for the life you envision. This transformation is not just about achieving specific goals or acquiring material things, it is about stepping into the fullness of who you are. It is about living from a place of abundance, confidence, and joy, knowing that you are a powerful creator and that all things are possible. Assuming the feeling is not only a tool for manifestation but a way of life. It is the art of living in harmony with the truth that everything you seek is already within you. When you embrace this truth and embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you align with the infinite potential of the universe, allowing miracles to unfold in ways that surpass your imagination. The words you speak carry immense power. They are not merely sounds or expressions, but vibrations that shape the fabric of your reality. Every word you utter is an act of creation, imbued with the ability to bring life into being or cast it into shadows. To speak life is to declare your intention, to align with the divine, and to call forth the reality you wish to experience. It is a sacred act of faith, a partnership with the unseen forces that govern existence. Most people speak carelessly, unaware of the creative potential of their words. They speak of lack, fear, and limitation, unaware that they are reinforcing the very circumstances they wish to escape. Yet the power of the spoken word is not neutral, it works in accordance with what you declare, whether for good or ill. To speak life is to consciously choose words that uplift, affirm, and create, knowing that what you say has the power to shape what you see. The words are the bridge between the inner and outer worlds. They are the tools through which the invisible becomes visible, the formless takes shape, and dreams become reality. So, when you speak, you are not merely expressing thoughts, you are commanding the energy of the universe to align with your declaration. Your words carry the vibration of your belief, and it is this belief that gives them their power. To speak life, therefore, is to speak from a place of faith and conviction, knowing that what you affirm with your words must come to pass. To speak life into being, you must first align your words with your desires. Speak as though your dreams are already realized, as though the life you envision is already yours. This is not pretending or lying to yourself, it is affirming the truth of your higher reality. When you say, "I am abundant, I am loved," or "I am whole," you are not describing your current circumstances, but declaring the reality you are creating. These declarations are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe, and with time they must bear fruit. Equally important is the awareness of what not to speak. Words of doubt, fear, or negativity act as barriers to the fulfillment of your desires. When you say, "I can't, I don't have," or "it's impossible," you are affirming lack and limitation, and the universe responds accordingly. Speak only what you wish to create, and guard your words as you would guard a treasure, for they are the tools through which you shape your life. Speaking life also involves speaking life into others. The words you share with those around you carry the power to inspire, uplift, and heal. When you affirm the good in others, you not only strengthen their belief in themselves, but also align yourself with the same energy. To speak life is to recognize the divinity in everyone and everything, to see beyond appearances and call forth the highest good in all. This practice requires awareness and discipline. It is easy to fall into the habit of complaining, criticizing, or doubting, especially when faced with challenges. But to speak life is to rise above circumstances, to declare the reality you wish to create rather than reacting to the one you see. It is an act of faith, a testament to your understanding that the power to create lies not in the external world, but within you. The act of speaking life is transformative. As you align your words with your desires and intentions, you begin to see the world through new eyes. Circumstances shift, opportunities arise, and miracles unfold, not because the external world has changed, but because you have changed. Your words shape your perception, and your perception shapes your reality. Speaking life is an act of love for yourself, for others, and for the divine presence that flows through all things. It is a declaration of your partnership with the universe, a recognition that you are a co-creator of your reality. When you speak life into being, you affirm the truth of who you are, a powerful, creative force, capable of bringing forth the highest good through the simple yet profound act of choosing your words with care. In conclusion, the power to shape your reality lies within you, through your thoughts, feelings, and most importantly, your words. Every desire you hold, every vision you cherish, and every dream you dare to imagine is a divine gift, calling you to align with the creative power of the universe. By assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, by speaking life into being, and by embracing your desires as sacred, you step into your role as a co-creator with the divine. Let your words and thoughts reflect the life you seek, not the life you see, and trust that what you affirm with conviction must come to pass. Remember that God, in infinite wisdom and love, works through you, for you, and with you. The unseen forces of the universe are ever in your favor, ready to manifest the desires of your heart when you align with them in faith and belief. Thank you for embarking on this journey of understanding and self-realization. May you walk forward with confidence, speaking life, assuming the feeling, and living fully in the truth of your divine power. Your destiny is already written, and it is one of abundance, love, and infinite possibility. Imagine a serene pond, untouched by the chaos of the world around it. A stone may be thrown, but the ripples will fade. The water, calm and steady, knows that it need not hold on to the disturbance. It simply lets go, restoring its peace. True mastery in life begins with your ability to command your inner state. This is the realm where your true power resides, untouched by external circumstances or the fleeting opinions of others. To master your inner state is to hold the keys to your reality, for everything you experience is born first within you. The world outside is but a shadow, a reflection of the vast and infinite realm of your inner self. Most people live in reaction to the world around them. Their emotions rise and fall like waves on a stormy sea, dictated by the winds of external events. A harsh word from another, a perceived slight, or an unexpected challenge sends them spiraling. Yet this way of living leaves you powerless, a mere victim to forces beyond your control. Mastering your inner state changes all of this. It allows you to become the calm center of your existence, the unshakable axis around which your life revolves. The journey begins with awareness. You must become a quiet observer of your thoughts and emotions. Like a watchman at the gate of your mind, you discern what enters and what stays. It's not about suppressing or denying emotions, but about recognizing them for what they are: temporary ripples on the surface of your consciousness. They come and go, but they do not define you. You are the stillness beneath, the unchanging presence that remains untouched. When challenges arise, your initial reaction may be one of anger, frustration, or fear. This is natural, but mastery lies in the space between stimulus and response. In that brief moment, you have the power to choose. Will you react impulsively, allowing the external to dictate your internal state? Or will you pause, breathe, and reclaim your dominion? That pause is where transformation occurs. It is where you remember that your peace is not up for negotiation. Mastering your inner state also involves the deliberate cultivation of your thoughts. What you entertain in your mind becomes the foundation of your reality. Negative, self-defeating thoughts breed anxiety, fear, and doubt, while empowering, affirming thoughts elevate your vibration and align you with higher possibilities. The mind is a garden; it will grow whatever you plant in it. Choose carefully. Weed out the thoughts that do not serve you, and nurture those that bring you closer to your desired state of being. It is also important to recognize that mastering your inner state does not mean avoiding conflict or difficult situations. It is not about withdrawing from life's challenges, but facing them with clarity and strength. When you are anchored within, you can navigate storms with grace, addressing problems without being consumed by them. Your responses are thoughtful, intentional, and aligned with your higher self, rather than reactive and emotionally charged. As you deepen your connection to your inner state, you will notice a profound shift in how you experience the world. Situations that once caused you distress will lose their power over you. People who once triggered negative reactions will no longer have the same effect. You will find yourself responding to life with a calm assurance, knowing that nothing outside of you can disrupt the peace within. This is the essence of freedom, not freedom from challenges, but freedom from being controlled by them. In mastering your inner state, you become a creator rather than a reactor. You shape your reality from the inside out, guided by intention rather than circumstance. The more you align with this truth, the more effortless life becomes. Challenges are met with resilience. Relationships are approached with love and understanding, and your dreams are pursued with unwavering focus. Mastering your inner state is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It is the foundation of all success, the source of true joy, and the pathway to a life of purpose and fulfillment. When you live from this place of inner mastery, you are no longer at the mercy of the world. You become the master of your destiny. In a world where so much emphasis is placed on words, what we say, how we say it, and the promises we make, it's easy to overlook the most powerful form of communication: energy. Energy is the invisible force that surrounds you, flows through you, and emanates from your very being. It is a silent language that needs no translation, yet it conveys your truth more powerfully than any words ever could. Every interaction you have, every thought you entertain, and every emotion you hold creates a ripple in the energetic field around you. This ripple, subtle yet potent, communicates your state of being to the world. People may not always be conscious of this exchange, but they feel it. Have you ever entered a room and immediately sensed tension without anyone saying a word? Or met someone who radiated joy and calm, uplifting your spirit without them uttering a single phrase? That's the undeniable power of energy. Your energy doesn't lie. It reflects the thoughts you dwell on, the emotions you carry, and the beliefs you hold about yourself and the world. While words can be rehearsed or manipulated, energy is authentic. It exposes your true intentions and feelings, even when you try to conceal them. This is why someone's words might not match their actions, and yet you instinctively feel whether they are genuine or not. You are responding to the energy they project, not the words they speak. This understanding is vital in how you approach your life and your relationships. You cannot fake energy. To embody peace, confidence, or love, you must first cultivate these qualities within yourself. The energy you emit will naturally align with the state of your inner being. Conversely, if you harbor resentment, fear, or self-doubt, this too will become evident in the vibrations you send out, even if you attempt to mask it with a smile or kind words. Energy shapes the dynamics of your relationships. Consider a situation where someone is apologizing to you. If their words are sincere but their energy carries defensiveness or insincerity, you will sense it. Their energy will speak louder than their apology, making it difficult for you to truly accept it. On the other hand, a heartfelt gesture, even in silence, can communicate remorse and understanding far more effectively than a well-rehearsed apology. This is the silent yet profound conversation happening beneath every interaction. Your energy not only impacts others but also determines what you attract into your life. The universe responds to energy, not words. You may affirm with your words that you desire abundance, love, or peace. But if your energy is rooted in lack, fear, or impatience, you will find yourself stuck in the very cycles you wish to escape. Energy is the true language of manifestation. To create the life you desire, you must embody the energy of that reality here and now. Act as if you already possess what you seek, and your energy will align with the vibration of your desires, drawing them into your experience. This principle applies to how you handle conflict and adversity as well. When faced with negativity, your instinct may be to respond with words, to defend yourself or set the record straight. But often it is your energy, not your argument, that determines the outcome. Silence, paired with unwavering calm and confidence, can diffuse situations where words might escalate them. Walking away with your peace intact sends a message far more powerful than engaging in a heated exchange. It communicates that you value your energy too much to squander it on unnecessary conflict. To harness the power of energy, you must first cultivate awareness. Pay attention to the feelings and thoughts you entertain throughout the day. What energy are you projecting when you enter a room, speak to a friend, or face a challenge? If it is not the energy you wish to convey, pause and recalibrate. Your energy is not fixed, it is something you can consciously shift. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, gratitude, and breathwork are powerful tools for aligning your energy with the state you wish to embody. Equally important is protecting your energy. You cannot always control the energy of those around you, but you can choose how you respond. Just as you guard your physical health, you must guard your energetic health. This means setting boundaries, stepping away from toxic environments, and spending time in places or with people who uplift your spirit. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is essential for your well-being and the quality of energy you bring into the world. Energy is your signature. It leaves an impression wherever you go, long after your words are forgotten. It determines the relationships you build, the opportunities you attract, and the peace you carry within yourself. By mastering your energy, you become a beacon of the qualities you wish to embody: love, strength, kindness, or resilience. Your energy becomes your greatest ally, a silent force that speaks volumes about who you are and what you stand for. Remember, while words may fill the air, it is your energy that fills the space. Cultivate it, honor it, and let it speak for you. In this you will find that you need fewer words, for your energy will say everything that needs to be said. Detachment is not about rejecting the world around you, it is about freeing yourself from the illusions that bind you to a limited experience of life. To align with higher realities, you must first release the attachments that tether you to the lower vibrations of fear, doubt, and dependence. This is not an act of isolation, but of liberation, an essential step in becoming attuned to the infinite possibilities that await you. The world often teaches us to cling to people, possessions, outcomes, and even identities. We are conditioned to believe that our worth and happiness are tied to external circumstances. Yet this attachment creates suffering, for everything in the physical realm is impermanent. As relationships change, material possessions fade, and the outcomes we strive for can elude us. To build your life on such transient foundations is to live in a state of constant vulnerability, always at the mercy of forces beyond your control. does not mean apathy or indifference. It does not mean abandoning relationships, goals, or dreams. Rather, it means engaging with life from a place of inner freedom. When you detach, you participate fully in the experiences of life, but you are not defined or constrained by them. You love deeply, but without fear of loss. You pursue your goals, but without desperation or anxiety. You honor the journey without being enslaved by the destination. The key to detachment lies in understanding your true nature. You are not your possessions, your titles, or even your relationships. You are a divine being connected to a vast and boundless reality that exists beyond the physical. When you anchor yourself in this truth, the attachments that once felt so vital begin to lose their grip. You realize that your value and fulfillment come not from what you hold on to, but from the eternal essence within you. It is a process of letting go, not of what you have, but of what you think you need to have. It is releasing the belief that your happiness depends on a specific person, outcome, or circumstance. This release is not a loss, it is a gain. By letting go of the lower, you open yourself to the higher. You create space for the divine flow of life to enter, bringing you experiences and opportunities far greater than anything you could have imagined, while clinging to your limited perspective. One of the most profound areas where detachment can transform your life is in your relationships. When you are attached to how others should act, feel, or respond, you place the weight of your happiness in their hands. This creates tension and dependency, often leading to disappointment or conflict. But when you detach, you love without expectation. You allow others the freedom to be themselves, and you give yourself the freedom to remain whole, regardless of their actions. This form of love is not weaker, it is stronger. It is a love that uplifts rather than burdens. Also transforms your relationship with goals and desires. It is natural to have dreams and aspirations, but attachment to specific outcomes can create stress and hinder your ability to manifest. When you detach, you still work toward your goals, but you release the need for them to unfold in a particular way or within a specific timeline. This openness allows the universe to work on your behalf, often bringing results that exceed your expectations. Detachment does not diminish your focus or effort, it enhances your trust in the process, aligning you with the higher reality where your desires are already fulfilled. To cultivate detachment, begin by observing your thoughts and feelings. Notice where you are holding on tightly, whether to a relationship, a possession, an identity, or an outcome. Ask yourself, does this serve my highest good, or is it weighing me down? Awareness is the first step in loosening the grip of attachment. Next, practice surrender. This does not mean giving up, it means releasing control. Trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools for fostering detachment. In stillness, you connect with the unchanging presence within you, the part of you that remains whole and complete regardless of external circumstances. This connection strengthens your ability to let go, for you realize that nothing outside of you can add to or take away from the truth of who you are. Detachment is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing practice. Life will continually present opportunities for you to release what no longer serves you and to align more deeply with your higher self. Each time you let go of an attachment, you rise closer to the vibration of peace, joy, and abundance. You step into the flow of the universe, where synchronicity and miracles become your natural state. Detachment is not about losing anything. It is about gaining everything that truly matters. It is about stepping beyond the illusions of lack and separation to embrace the infinite abundance of higher realities. When you detach, you do not abandon the world, you transcend it. You align with the divine, and in doing so, you create a life that is not only free, but profoundly fulfilling. The world around you is a mirror, reflecting the inner landscape of your mind and emotions. This is the essence of the law of reflection, the idea that your external reality is a direct manifestation of your internal state. It is not merely a philosophical concept, but a universal truth that governs every aspect of your life. To understand this law is to unlock the power to transform your experiences by first transforming yourself. Everything you encounter in your external world, your relationships, circumstances, and the way others treat you serves as a reflection of your beliefs, thoughts, and emotions. If you see chaos and conflict in your life, it is likely because chaos and conflict exist within your inner world. If you experience love and harmony, it is because you have cultivated these qualities within yourself. The world does not act independently of you, it responds to you. This principle might feel challenging to accept because it requires taking full responsibility for your life. It can be tempting to blame external factors for your struggles or to see the behavior of others as the source of your discomfort. But the law of reflection reveals that the external is always a projection of the internal. What you see out there is only a mirror of what is happening in here. This is not about assigning blame, but about empowering you to change your reality by changing your inner state. Consider your relationships. They are some of the clearest mirrors of your inner world. The people you attract into your life often reflect the qualities you admire or dislike in yourself. If you find yourself repeatedly encountering dishonesty, ask yourself if there is a part of you that is not being truthful, perhaps with others, but more importantly, with yourself. If you attract people who uplift and inspire you, it is a reflection of the positive energy you are cultivating within. The same is true of how others treat you. Their behavior mirrors the way you treat yourself. If you are consistently respected and valued, it is because you hold yourself in high regard. If you experience neglect or mistreatment, it may be a sign that you are neglecting or undervaluing yourself. The outer world cannot give you what you do not first give to yourself. When you shift your internal dialogue to one of self-love and worthiness, the external world will naturally adjust to reflect that shift. The law of reflection also applies to your circumstances. Life events and situations are mirrors of your dominant thoughts and beliefs. If you believe the world is full of opportunities, you will find doors opening in unexpected places. If you believe life is a constant struggle, you will encounter obstacles at every turn. This is not about ignoring the reality of challenges, but about understanding how your perception shapes your experience. Two people can face the same situation and interpret it entirely differently based on their inner state. Recognizing the law of reflection gives you the power to rewrite your story. Instead of reacting to the external world, you can use it as a tool for self-discovery and growth. When something triggers you, whether it's a person's behavior or a challenging situation, ask yourself, what is this showing me about myself? Instead of viewing the external world as separate from you, see it as a teacher, guiding you toward greater self-awareness. This law is also a reminder of the creative power you hold. Just as a mirror reflects whatever is placed before it, the world reflects the energy you project. If you want to change what you see in the mirror, you do not try to alter the reflection, you change what is being reflected. If you desire more love, joy, or abundance in your life, cultivate these qualities within yourself. Shift your focus from what is lacking to what is already present, and watch as your reality transforms to match your internal state. To align with the law of reflection, start with gratitude. Gratitude shifts your inner state to one of abundance and positivity, and the world mirrors this back to you. Practice affirmations that reinforce your desired reality. For example, if you want to experience peace, affirm, I am at peace and peace surrounds me. These affirmations are not about convincing the world, they are about convincing yourself. For once you believe it internally, the world will reflect it externally. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools for working with this law. In stillness, you can observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, gaining insight into what you are projecting. As you become more aware of your inner state, you can consciously choose thoughts and feelings that align with the reality you wish to create. The law of reflection is a gift. It shows you that the power to change your life lies within you. You are not a victim of circumstances or the behavior of others, you are the creator of your reality. By taking responsibility for your inner state, you reclaim your power and align with the truth of who you are. The mirror of life becomes not a source of frustration, but a tool for transformation, reflecting back to you the beauty, strength, and infinite potential that reside within. Silence holds an extraordinary power, often underestimated in a world consumed by noise. It is not merely the absence of sound, but a profound state of being that allows you to connect with your inner truth, harness your strength, and project a presence that speaks louder than words. Silence is a force of clarity, wisdom, and transformation, offering a depth of understanding that words can never convey. You meet yourself fully. The constant distractions of life, conversations, media, and the endless hum of daily tasks often pull you away from the essence of who you are. Silence strips away the superficial layers, creating space for self-reflection and introspection. It allows you to confront your innermost thoughts and emotions, even those you might prefer to avoid. In this confrontation lies liberation, for only by facing your truth can you begin to transform it. Silence is not an escape, it is an invitation to authenticity. Silence also amplifies your awareness of the present moment. In the stillness, you notice the subtle nuances of life, the way the light dances through the leaves, the rhythm of your breath, and the gentle beating of your heart. These moments remind you of the perfection inherent in each instant. Noise can drown out this awareness, pulling your focus outward and scattering your energy. Silence centers you, grounding you in the now and sharpening your perception of the world around you. There is great strength in choosing silence, especially in the face of conflict or provocation. Often the impulse to respond, defend, or argue arises from a place of ego. But silence is not weakness, it is mastery. It demonstrates that you are not a slave to your emotions or the need for validation. By holding your silence, you communicate a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken. This form of strength speaks volumes, far outweighing the power of any verbal response. It is also a tool of influence. When you refrain from speaking, you create space for others to fill. In conversation, silence draws out truth. People feel compelled to reveal more of themselves when faced with quiet attentiveness. This is why great leaders and wise individuals often say very little. They understand that silence allows for deeper understanding and connection. By listening, you gain insight not only into others, but also into the dynamics of any situation. In relationships, silence can be a means of preserving peace and setting boundaries. Not every situation demands your input, and not every conflict requires resolution through words. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. Silence removes you from the cycle of reactive behavior, giving you the space to assess what truly deserves your energy. In this way, silence becomes an act of self-respect and a statement of your values. Has the power to heal. When you allow yourself to sit with your pain rather than fleeing from it through distraction or words, you create space for processing and release. Silence allows emotions to surface, to be felt and understood, without judgment or suppression. This process fosters inner healing, strengthening your capacity for resilience and growth. Also allows for creative expansion. When your mind is free from the clutter of constant input, it has the space to explore new ideas, solutions, and perspectives. Many of the greatest innovations and works of art have emerged from moments of profound stillness. By embracing silence, you tap into the wellspring of your inner genius, unlocking potential that might otherwise remain dormant. Silence is a testament to your inner power. In a world where everyone competes to be heard, choosing silence sets you apart. It signals that you are not defined by the opinions or expectations of others. Your silence reflects self-assurance, wisdom, and a deep understanding that true power does not need to shout, it simply is. Embrace silence as a tool for self-discovery, strength, and transformation. Let it guide you to clarity, empower your presence, and connect you to the infinite depths within. In the quiet, you will find not only yourself but the unshakable truth that silence itself is a form of power. Your mind is your most sacred space, a garden that holds the seeds of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. What you allow to take root in this inner garden determines the landscape of your life. To guard your inner garden is to consciously cultivate the seeds of positivity, growth, and purpose while uprooting the weeds of negativity, doubt, and fear. This act of vigilance is not just about mental discipline, it is an expression of self-love and respect for the creative power you hold. Every thought you entertain is like a seed planted in fertile soil. Some seeds grow into vibrant flowers, bringing beauty and joy while others grow into weeds, choking out the life and potential of your garden. The first step in guarding your inner garden is to become aware of what you are planting. This requires mindfulness and self-reflection. What thoughts dominate your mind? Are they aligned with the vision you have for your life, or do they pull you toward doubt and despair? Like weeds, often finds its way into your garden without invitation. These can be the critical voices of others, the influence of societal expectations, or even your own limiting beliefs. If left unchecked, these weeds can spread, overshadowing the positive aspects of your inner world. To guard your inner garden, you must regularly assess what no longer serves you and remove it with intention. This process is not about denying negative emotions, but acknowledging them, understanding their source, and releasing them before they take root. Boundaries are essential to protecting your mental and emotional space. Just as a gardener builds a fence to keep out pests, you must create boundaries to safeguard your peace. This might mean limiting exposure to people who drain your energy, reframing negative self-talk, or reducing the consumption of media that perpetuates fear and anxiety. These boundaries are not walls of isolation but gates of discernment, allowing you to choose what you let in and what you keep out. Nurturing your inner garden also requires planting the right seeds, thoughts, and beliefs that uplift and inspire. Gratitude is one of the most powerful seeds you can plant. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your energy to abundance and possibility. Affirmations are another tool for cultivation. By repeating positive, empowering statements, you reinforce the beliefs you wish to grow. For instance, affirming "I am capable and worthy of success" can replace the limiting belief "I am not enough." Visualization is another way to tend your inner garden. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine the life you desire, you are planting seeds in the soil of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious, like a gardener, will work tirelessly to bring these images to fruition. But just as a gardener must water and nurture their plants, you must align your actions and intentions with the vision you hold. The energy you bring to your inner garden is as important as the seeds you plant. Fear and doubt act like drought or pests, weakening the roots of your positive intentions. Love, faith, and perseverance act as sunlight and rain, nourishing your garden and allowing it to thrive. To cultivate these energies, practice self-care, meditation, and other activities that replenish your spirit. Remember that your garden reflects not only your thoughts but also the energy you bring to it. Guarding your inner garden also means being patient with the process. Growth takes time. You may not see immediate results from the seeds you plant, but with consistent care and faith, they will bloom. Impatience and frustration can hinder growth, just as overwatering can drown a plant. Trust the timing of your life, knowing that every effort you make to nurture your inner world will eventually bear fruit. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another way to enrich your garden. Just as healthy plants thrive when placed among other flourishing plants, your thoughts and beliefs flourish in a supportive environment. Seek out people, books, and experiences that inspire you and align with the vision you have for your life. These influences act as fertilizer, enriching the soil of your mind and accelerating your growth. Guarding your inner garden is about taking responsibility for your life. The outer world may be chaotic, but your inner world is yours to cultivate. By tending to your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with care and intention, you create a sanctuary of peace and possibility. This sanctuary becomes the foundation from which you navigate the challenges of life, grounded in the knowledge that you hold the power to shape your reality. Your inner garden is a reflection of your soul, a sacred space that deserves your attention and care. Guard it fiercely, nurture it lovingly, and watch as it blossoms into a life of beauty, abundance, and fulfillment. In a world driven by constant motion and relentless pursuit, stillness often feels like a forgotten art. Yet the universe operates on principles that defy human impatience and haste. It is in stillness that profound alignment occurs. When you learn to be still not just physically but mentally and spiritually, you open yourself to the flow of divine order, where everything you seek begins to find its way to you. The universe rewards stillness not because it demands inactivity, but because stillness allows receptivity, clarity, and transformation. It is not stagnation, it is the fertile ground where intention meets divine timing. In stillness, you step back from the noise of the external world and tune into the deeper rhythm of life. This rhythm is not rushed or chaotic, it is steady, intentional, and purposeful. When you stop chasing outcomes and allow yourself to rest in the present, you align with this rhythm. You become a vessel for the universe to pour its blessings into, unencumbered by the resistance created through overthinking or overdoing. The act of stillness creates space for clarity. When your mind is cluttered with constant thoughts, fears, and plans, it is difficult to discern the voice of intuition or the gentle guidance of the universe. But in moments of quiet, the mind begins to settle, like muddy water becoming clear when left undisturbed. In this clarity, answers emerge, ideas take shape, and a sense of direction becomes apparent. Stillness is where the solutions you seek reveal themselves not through force, but through surrender. Stillness also fosters receptivity. Many people live in a state of constant output, always giving, doing, and striving, leaving little room to receive. The universe cannot fill a cup that is already full. When you pause and embrace stillness, you create an open space within yourself, a space ready to be filled with inspiration, abundance, and divine intervention. In this receptive state, you allow the blessings of the universe to flow into your life effortlessly, rather than trying to wrestle them into existence. There is immense power in the stillness of faith. To be still is to trust that the universe is working behind the scenes on your behalf. It is to release the need to control every detail, and to rest in the knowing that what is meant for you will come. This trust is not passive, it is an active declaration of belief in the abundance and wisdom of the universe. When you are still, you communicate to the universe that you are ready to receive, and this readiness sets powerful forces into motion. Stillness is a state of alignment with the higher self. It is in these moments of quiet that you reconnect with your true essence, the part of you that is infinite and boundless. When you act from this place of alignment, your actions become more deliberate, effective, and inspired. Instead of rushing and scattering your energy, you move with purpose and precision. The universe responds to this alignment by orchestrating circumstances in your favor, magnifying the impact of your efforts. You also transcend the illusion of time. The human mind often perceives time as a linear sequence, a ticking clock that pressures you to accomplish more and more. But in the stillness of the present moment, time seems to dissolve. You realize that the present is all there truly is. And in this realization, you unlock the ability to experience life fully and deeply. This presence creates a magnetic quality that attracts opportunities, relationships, and experiences aligned with your highest good. Stillness cultivates patience, a virtue essential to receiving the universe's rewards. The natural world reflects this truth. A tree does not rush its growth, nor does the sun hurry to rise. All things unfold in their due season. When you practice stillness, you align with this divine timing. You learn to wait with grace, understanding that the universe delivers not according to your urgency, but according to your readiness. This patience is not passive, it is a quiet confidence that what you desire is already on its way. The rewards of stillness are not always immediate or tangible, but they are profound. Inner peace, clarity of purpose, heightened intuition, and a deeper connection with the universe are among the treasures that emerge from stillness. These rewards form the foundation for external manifestations, be it success, love, or abundance. The more you cultivate stillness, the more you realize that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. By mastering the art of stillness, you transform not only yourself but also the reality you experience. To embrace stillness is to honor the natural cycles of life. It is to recognize that rest is as essential as action, that silence holds wisdom words cannot express, and that in the quiet spaces, the universe whispers its secrets. The universe rewards stillness because it is in this sacred pause that you become fully aligned with the flow of creation. So find moments to be still, to listen, and to trust. In these moments, you will discover the profound truth that the greatest progress often comes not from doing, but from being. In every moment of stillness, you hold the power to align with the infinite wisdom and abundance of the universe. By pausing, trusting, and embracing the quiet within, you create space for clarity, inspiration, and transformation. Stillness is not an absence of action, it is the foundation for intentional living, where your energy flows effortlessly toward your highest good. The rewards of peace, alignment, and divine timing are all within your reach when you honor the sacred pause. So let stillness guide you. Trust its process. Cultivate it daily and watch as your life begins to reflect the beauty, balance, and abundance that already exists within you. Thank you for allowing these words to resonate with your journey. May you find strength and peace in stillness always.